What's going on, guys? It's your boy Billy Chuck coming at you with another episode of Metalhead Reacts To. In this episode, we're gonna discuss the hardcore legends agnostic front. Let's get it. Alright, you guys, let's get it. Agnostic Front. They're a hardcore punk band from New York City, founded in 1980. The band is considered an important influence on the New York hardcore scene, as well as a pioneer of the crossover thrash genre. Vinny Stigma actually came up with the name Agnostic Front, believe it or not. Agnostic meaning doubting an absolute truth, questioning with your own eyes, not in a religious form, and front meaning a movement, says Roger Murray. This is something I had no idea happened, but apparently actor Steve Martin was previously in the band. Yep, I triple checked. Steve Martin was in Agnostic Front from 87 until 1990. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously? You know? But Agnostic Front formed in 1980 with Vinny Stigma Capucho, formerly of the Eliminators, on lead guitar, with Diego on bass, Rob Crekus, aka Robbie Crash, on drums, and John Watson on the vocals. Despite being billed at their first concert as the Zoo Crew, Vinny introduced them as Agnostic Front, saying that the poster had been made prior to deciding on the name. He soon added Ray Barbieri, aka Rabies, on drums, and Adam Mucci on bass. After Watson was arrested, the band hired James Contra as a vocalist, who eventually quit before a performance at Great Gildersleeves, I think. That's how you say it, I think. But after a disagreement with Capuccio on how to hand out stickers, seems pretty weak reason to leave the band. But although never having spoken to him before, Vinny told some of his friends to ask Roger Murray, former bass player of the Psychos, if he wanted to be the vocalist of Agnostic Front, because he liked his style of slam dancing, aka moshing. In '83, year I was born, what up? This lineup recorded their debut EP, United Blood. This EP was officially released later that year. However, by that point, Mucci had departed from the band and been replaced by Todd Youth. During its initial phase, the band consisted entirely of skinheads. Although this would change over time, Agnostic Front would continue to feature skinheads as part of their lineup. This led to a belief among some that the band espoused ultra-nationalist or fascist politics, an assertion denied by Roger Murray in a 1985 Flipside interview. He said, and I quote, "We're skinheads, and the skinheads in England have a very bad name, like with the fascists and stuff like that. But this is America, not England." just because the skinheads are fascists over there doesn't mean we gotta grow our hair out if we don't feel like it. We love our country, but not necessarily how our government works. But want to know why I shaved my head? Initially, I used to have 5-inch Liberty spikes, believe it or not. But back when I used to could grow hair. Now now ever since I graduated high school, it seems like my hairline is going further and further back. But anyway, the follow-up album, Victim in Pain, was released in '84, and that album is regarded as a seminal New York hardcore release. Dave Jones replaced Rabies on drums after a mutual agreement among band members that Rabies needed time to Rabies? I never knew that was his name. But apparently he needed time to address the developing drug problem. We've all been there. Dave Jones was a kid from New Jersey who had previously played with the band Mental Abuse. Rob Kabula took over on bass in '84. Jimmy the Kid Coletti from Justified Violence joined on drums when the band went to tour with The Exploited later that year. The album pushed the band to the forefront of New York's fledgling hardcore scene, which was centered around CBGBs, where they played with bands like fucking Cro-Mags and Murphy's Law. Cro-Mags just tickles my fancy. Roger Murray asserts that all the songs on the album are totally inspired by the streets of New York and his life and what was going on with his friends. It was dangerous. We had to do what we had to do but to survive by any means necessary. It was like a war or a battlefield, he said, and we stood our ground. There's a reason I fucking am a hardcore kid at heart. It just speaks to me. Anyways, 1986's Cause for Alarm was a difficult album to record due to constant lineup changes and personnel problems. That album added thrash metal influences with other bands such as Suicidal Tendencies. Fucking love them. I actually did an episode on them. And Stormtroopers of Death, SOD. With this album would mark Agnostic Front's induction into the world of crossover threats. It also featured some lyrics written by Peter Steele and drumming by Louis B2, both of Carnivore. Roger Murray left the band for 4 months between the recording and release of Cause for Alarm and was replaced by Carl DeMola. With another lineup, the band soon released Liberty and Justice 4, ... in '87. The album featured stripped down punk with a lack of thrash influences, yet it contained many metal style guitar solos. Then it's not really hardcore, right? Like that's what I said in my episode with Hatebreed. Like Hatebreed started off as East Coast hardcore. They eventually became more metal, started adding guitar solos and different shit. But anyway, it did not sell nearly as well as previous releases. Roger Murray was arrested on drug charges after releasing a live album and spent his time in prison writing new songs while Stigma and the band toured Europe for the first time. That sucks, bro. That sucks. Be locked up while your band's touring Europe for the first time? Bet you won't do that again, huh, Roger? The lyrics written by Roger Murray while incarcerated formed most of '92's One Voice, which featured members of Madball, fucking love them, and Sick of It All, love them. Not long after its release, the band decided to call it quits. Their last show was at CBGB's on December 20th, '92, and the show was recorded for the live album Last Warning, which was released by Roadrunner Records in '93. Well, I hope you guys are still fucking with me. Are you? Well, Agnostic Front, frontman Vinny and Roger reformed Agnostic Front in May of '96, and they did a few reunion shows in December of '96, signing to Epitaph Records and recruiting Jimmy Coletti on the drums and Rob Kabula on the bass. He's a bad motherfucker. So he was playing with Against the Grain at the time. Their latest venture was called Something's Gotta Give in '99. They followed up with Riot Riot Upstart. They also won an MTV award for the title track music video. So, congrats. Their comeback albums have sold well and been mostly acclaimed by music critics for their pure hardcore punk sound. In 2001, they released the album Dead Yuppies. Songs from this album were rarely played live, and as the band considered it more a product of Love and Hatred, Jimmy Coletti's side project. In 2002, Roger Murray worked on a side project band, Roger Murray and the Disasters, looking for a sound like old school punk and oi. I always like that word, oi. Don't even know what that shit means, but it sounds good though. Also that year, the band appeared in Matthew Barney's film Cremaster 3 along with Murphy's Law. Agnostic Front came out in '04 with Another Voice. The album was regarded as mainly as a follow-up to One Voice. However, it did receive some criticism from fans and the press for apparently changing their music to fit the current wave of tough guy bands. What are tough guy bands, bro? What are tough guy bands? I want to know. But musically, the album bears resemblance to bands that were heavily influenced by Agnostic Front, such as Hatebreed. Roger Murray's vocals on the album particularly seemed to turn off many less hardcore punk-oriented fans. Not me. I'm a hardcore punk fan until I die. Enough said. Later, the track Peace was contributed to the mashup album Threat, music that inspired the movie, where it was remixed by Schizoid and renamed World at War. On March 7th, 2006, Agnostic Front released the DVD live at CBGB's. It follows the efforts of many bands that tried to save CBGB from shutting down. Murray claims that they played more shows at CBGB than any band ever. For real? All the animals come out at night. And they played more benefit shows for CBGB than any band ever. For real? When the club did close, most nostalgia focused on 70s punk bands. November 6th of 2007, Agnostic Front released the album Warriors with the hit For My Family, For All My Friends, which was largely a continuation of the band's crossover thrash sound. I like that album, and I'm not a huge thrash fan. For the 25th anniversary of their debut LP, Victim in Pain, Bridge 9 Records released remastered versions of that album along with their first EP, United Blood, on November 17th of 2009. And then the band performed on the Persistence tour in Europe in the winter of 2009. And then they were confirmed for the Rebellion Festival in 2012 in Blackpool, England. I always said that fucking European crowds are so much more better than United States crowds. In 2015, the band released the album The American Dream Died on Nuclear Blast Records, which consistently mostly of the band's older style of music with a modern touch. The band continued to tour extensively in Europe and as well as the US in support of the record. In 2017, Stigma and Roger Murray both appeared in a documentary about Agnostic Front, The Godfathers of Hardcore. If you guys get a chance, watch that movie. Directed by Ian McFarlane. In 2022, it was revealed that Pokimo had parted ways with Agnostic Front in 2020, and that Danny LaMagna would be their new drummer. Alright, you crazy motherfuckers, that's all I got for you. If you like what you seen, like what you heard, like spending some time with your boy Billy Chunk, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, leave me some comments. I don't care if you're a fucking asshole or not, just show me some love. Peace.